Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to R.A. Fagnall Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College. I'm Tim Calderwood with you. Game 2 of our basketball doubleheader. It is the men, Elmhurst and Wheaton. As the starting lineups are being introduced here, I shall do the same. Wheaton College enters the matchup with a record of 11-5. They are 2-3. Hugely disappointing so far in the CCIW as one of the preseason conference favorites. They opened the season 10-2, but have lost 3 of 4. The good news for the Thunder is that all 3 of those losses have been on the road, and they will have a lot of home games coming up on the backside of the schedule. Andrew Johns starts at one guard, a 6'2 senior out of Wheaton, Illinois, averaging 15.8 points per ball game. Jeremy Flederer is a sophomore guard out of Tremont, Illinois. He averages 10.9 points per ball game and stands at 6 foot tall. Also for the Thunder, John DeMoss, a 6'3 freshman guard out of Elburn, Illinois, averaging 8.3 points per ball game. He is the only freshman in the starting lineup for the Thunder. Tim McCrary, a name you'll hear a lot of this evening, averaging 16.4 points per ball game and 9.7 rebounds per game. First team All-CCIW choice last year. He's at 6'6", out of Wilmette, Illinois. Spencer Schulte, a 6'6 junior center out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, averaging 10.4 points per ball game. The Thunder are led by head coach Mike Schauer, who's in his second season with Wheaton. For the Blue Jays, James Robertson starts at one guard, 6'3", 170-pound junior out of Peoria, Illinois, as he is averaging 5.6 points per ball game. He's joined by Mike McCurdy, a 6-foot junior from St. Charles, Illinois, who played at Burlington Central and averages 9.8 points per ball game. Zach Boyd averages 15 points a game, a junior out of Warrensburg, standing at 6'3". Joe Acosta, 6'3", senior, hailing from here at Elmhurst, averaging 4.1 points per ball game. And Steve Crane is a junior out of Elmhurst, averaging 7.7 points per ball game, and has really kind of been an emerging force for the Blue Jays. So here we are from R.A. Fagnall Hall, decked in Bears spirit. Yes, I am. No, I am not the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, Jay Cutler, but I am thrilled to be here for you and getting geared up for the Bears game upcoming tomorrow. Go Bears. Elmhurst and Wheaton ready to tangle this evening here at R.A. Fagnall Hall. Steve Crane is in the center circle, flanked by Spencer Schulte. The referees are dealing with an issue underneath the clock to our left. It looks like there may have been a short. The backboard lights are on and the shot clock is circling as well. Athletic director and jack of all trades Paul Crone has climbed up on the ladder to try and work on the situation. So we will have a slight delay before the start of our contest here today as you get a look at said backboard. That would kind of be a little distracting to try to play a game with that red light. Paul Crone on top of it, receiving a nice round of applause from those who have gathered here in Elmhurst this evening. And a very good crowd. For those of you who aren't aware, Elmhurst and Wheaton, both in DuPage County. About a half an hour apart or so, again, pending travel. I suppose if you take the expressway, it won't take quite that long, but anyhow. We're underway. And Wheaton is on the board. Steve Crane actually won the tip, but he tapped it directly into the arms of Andrew Johns, who found himself uncontested to the bucket for the first points of the contest. Elmhurst trailing 2-0 here in the early on. Steve Crane rotating left towards Zach Boyd. He will find McCurdy on the baseline, driving, kicking into the corner, 15 to shoot. Solid possession for the Blue Jays, taking their time, looking for a good shot. No on the attempt from McCurdy, but on the rebound, Crane fouled on the way up. Steve Crane kind of took a little while to get adjusted. He had spent a year off following 2 seasons at Lewis University. Had to get back into the flow a little bit for the Blue Jays and kind of turn the corner during the Blue Jay Classic when he was chosen to the all-tournament team. He's out of York High School right here in Elmhurst, a junior, averaging 7.7 points per ball game, but he fails to convert on the first free throw. However, his second falls in. Elmhurst as a team shooting 68% from the field this year, from the free throw line, I should say. If you missed it, the women upset Wheaton in the opener of our doubleheader today, 74-60, winning back-to-back games in the CCIW for the first time this year to even their record at 3-3. With 2 winnable games upcoming, could find themselves right in the mix of the CCIW tournament race. Women, like the men, have the top 4 teams qualify for the CCIW tournament, and the top seed is the host. Here come the Thunder. Andrew Johns to the basket. Jump stop blocked by Crane. It's volleyballed around by 3. Blue Jays out of bounds to Wheaton. There's a lot of Thunder fans across the way who have ventured across DuPage County today on this cool one. McCrary with his back to the bucket, has it knocked away by Crane, chases it down. Elmhurst was looking for a jump ball, but instead a foul is whistled. The foul is charged to Mike McCurdy, his first. 2-1 the score. Wheaton with the advantage, just underway in Elmhurst tonight. Full slate of games in the CCIW today as DeMoss bounces for McCrary. Right of the glass, back to DeMoss. At the right turn, the three-pointer is good. And it's 5-1. One game is gone final. Carthage played at Milliken earlier this evening. Other games, Illinois Wesleyan at North Park and North Central at Augustana in the marquee matchup of the CCIW today. McCurdy drives to the basket, spins around, no, taps at it once. McCrary comes away, it's a 3-on-2. McCrary with the right hand, spin move in the lane, pretty finish. Wow. McCrary made it look easy in transition and a timeout for Elmhurst. Mark Scheer does not like how the game has started. 1 minute and 50 seconds in. Wheaton leads Elmhurst 7-1, and Mark Scheer will take a timeout as you get a look at the 15th year head coach of the Blue Jays. 226 wins, 149 defeats for Mark Scheer. His Elmhurst team 7-9 this season, 2-3 in the CCIW. You may say 2-3 isn't a whole lot to be excited about. Well, the Blue Jays won just 1 CCIW game a year ago. So owning 2 victories currently, definitely a positive point for Elmhurst, who owns 7 victories on the season as well. They were victorious over North Park, 65-54 on Wednesday night. Snapped a 3-game conference slide. They held North Park to their second lowest offensive output of the season with just 54 points. 4 players in double figures for the Blue Jays in the contest. 15 to shoot as Acosta dribbles in front of the Wheaton bench and is undressed by McCrary. It's loose on the floor. DeMoss kind of shovels it towards Schultze. And the Wheaton bench likes it as they rise to their feet. Here's Johns off of a screen, traveled. Hesitation. Johns found himself open off of a screen at the top of the arc. Thought about shooting that 3 in that moment of indecision, put it on the floor instead, and thus the traveling violation. First substitution of the game for Elmhurst, Deontay Foster off the bench. Sophomore out of Muskegon, Michigan. 7-1, Wheaton the lead. 17:30 to play first half, and Acosta throws it into the Wheaton bench. Thunder, as we mentioned, have dropped 3 out of 4 as Aaron Schroeder checks in for the Blue Jays. But those 3 losses have been on the road. They won at home against both Carthage and North Park in CCIW play, while they lost at North Central, at Augustana, and at Illinois Wesleyan. Here's Johns at the top of the key, splash from 3. Solid start for the Thunder, 10-1 the lead. And Elmhurst needs to be careful and find their way into a rhythm here early on, because Wheaton is clearly feeling it out on a mission here to start the contest. Hitting on 4 of their first 5 shots, including a perfect 2 of 2 from three-point range. And Elmhurst turns it over as Schroeder was knifing through the lane, and Foster threw it rather than to whence he was going, he threw it to from whence he came. As I work on my oldie English. 16:48 first half. Schultze will move left. Hand off to DeMoss, backing it up, angling right at the top of the arc. Lobbing towards McCrary. Right of the paint to the bucket, and a foul. On his way to the free throw line will be Spencer Schultze, the 6'6 junior out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. One thing about Wheaton, they draw players from all over the country. Although they've kind of gotten a little bit more of a local flavor of late. 2 players from DuPage County, both went to Wheaton North High School. One from the north suburbs in Wilmette, who prepped at New Trier. One from Bloomington and one from Tremont, Illinois, on the roster as well for the Thunder. Eric Dornfeld enters for Elmhurst. Spencer Schultze with another free throw upcoming for the Thunder. And it is short off the front iron, but he follows his shot, falls to the floor, lost the basketball in the process. Out of bounds to Elmhurst with 16:37 to go in the first half. A 10-1 lead. Hey, guess what? I'm not the only fan in attendance wearing a Cutler jersey today. I guess I'm not a fan in attendance. I'm a Bears fan in attendance wearing a Cutler jersey. But now I am no longer in the minority. Andrew Johns sprints up about 5 rows into the seats. Getting to know some of the fans here pretty well. Hi, how you doing? I'm Andrew Johns. Gunning for the steal is Flederer. Foster backs it up. Starts to go right, back to the left, and an offensive foul away from the basketball. James Robertson. His first and the third against the Blue Jays. It is the 4th Elmhurst turnover already. Pretty high number early in the ball game since we're not even 4 minutes in. McCrary nearly travels, unloads in the left corner for DeMoss. A 19-footer is long. Foster skies in the air to tap it to himself over the top of Nathan Haynes. Here's Boyd at the right elbow and a block against the aforementioned Haynes. A freshman out of Bloomington, Illinois, charged with a block. His first, team foul number 2. Tyler Peters entering for Wheaton, a freshman out of Medina, Ohio. Foster looking to lob. Dornfeld posting and calling for the basketball, but Haynes is on him defensively. Robertson will angle right around the perimeter. Boyd chases down an errant pass that was knocked away by Johns. 15 to shoot. Foster wing left, looking to lob. Dornfeld against Haynes. With his back to the bucket, out to Schroeder. 3-pointer on the left wing is good. It took Elmhurst 4.5 minutes to make a field goal in the ball game. Their first today after missing their first 4 attempts. It is a 3-pointer from Schroeder, and the Blue Jays are within 10-4. Peters on the move, bouncing from McCrary. One extra pass out towards Peters, who spun out to the right side and converts. 3 out of 3 for Wheaton from 3-point range. 13-4, the Thunder by 9 with 14:50 to go in the half. Boyd over to Foster, right wing. Looking to move to his left, back to his right, charting a wide open Robertson who wasn't ready, lost the handle. But the Blue Jays recover as Schroeder clears out to Dornfeld. Down to 10 as Dornfeld moves with the left hand, a waist-high dribble and a travel. Enter Eric Ellingson, replacing James Robertson on the floor. Ellingson, Boyd, Foster, Schroeder, Dornfeld for the Blue Jays. For Wheaton, it is Johns, Fisher, McCrary, Peters, and Haynes. Haynes bouncing for McCrary. He's double teamed in the low post. Fading away, the 12-footer won't go. Dornfeld taps the rebound to himself. Here come the Blue Jays. Dornfeld setting a screen for Foster. Trying the left side of the lane, clearing out for Boyd. He's been very quiet to start. Mark Scheer telling the Blue Jays to move the basketball. With 20 to shoot, Foster leads Schroeder too far to the basket. John steps in front, a 1-on-3, spinning in the lane, dead underneath, has it blocked by Schroeder. Haynes collects, and he has it poked away by Dornfeld. Wheaton maintains possession, 27 to shoot. McCurdy will re-enter for Elmhurst. Spencer Schultze back on the hardwood for Wheaton. Johns off of a screen is pushed to the floor by Eric Ellingson. And Eric Ellingson commits his first foul. Wheaton did not make a free throw yet today. One of the rare areas they've missed in so far. 0 of 2 at the free throw line. Andrew Johns stepping to the stripe. The second leading scorer for the Thunder this season, leads the team in free throw percentage at 81%, 57 of 70. And his first free throw tickles the bottom of the net. 14-4, a double-digit lead. Attempt number 2 is off the front iron. Rebound to the right side for Ellingson. Ellingson scurrying ahead. Pushing towards the right corner, carries the basketball, lost it. Boyd recovers in the right corner. Boyd drives in. Baseline right from 12, off to the left. Rebound for Haynes. Big time start for Wheaton to the ball game. A double-digit lead for the Thunder. With 13:15 to play in the opening half, it's 14-4, and Haynes throws it away, bouncing towards Peters. And Peters tapping towards Haynes, tapping his chest, saying, "My fault, I took my eyes off of it as it was on its way into the post." While Wheaton has started strong, Elmhurst is scuffling, and Mark Scheer will spend a timeout to try to regroup the Blue Jays. It's a full one, and we step aside. 13-11. 13-11 to play in the first half. Wheaton 14, Elmhurst 4. This is Blue Jay TV.
I'd probably say being on the tennis team is the first one. I get along with the guys really well. We just got back from our spring break trip in Hilton Head. That was really fun. It was good team bonding. A lot of people are friendly. I haven't met too many non-friendly people, I'd say. Everybody's pretty welcoming. The life around here, I'd say, is pretty good. I have a job off campus. I teach tennis for kids. My coach helped me out with it. He worked there when he was in high school. I mean, I try to do as much as I can while I'm here.
Wheaton already leading by double digits on this Saturday evening. Welcome back to R.A. Fagnall Hall on the campus of Elmhurst College. Tim Calderwood with you on Blue Jay TV. 14-4 is the score. Wheaton with the advantage as the Blue Jays spending their second timeout. We have one final in the books from around the CCIW today. Carthage winning in Decatur at Millikin, 64-49. The victory keeps Millikin winless in the conference. They are now 0-6. And improves Carthage to 3-3 in the CCIW. Eric Dornfeld has it hammered away underneath by Spencer Schultze. And the Wheaton fans enjoying the early results. McCurdy inbounding to Ellingson in the left corner. Dornfeld is posting and calling the basketball, but Schultze with a good job of denying, fronting the Blue Jay post player. Bailey Barnett has entered. Barnett trudges to the basket on the right side, tries to toss up an 8-footer short. McCrary keeps the rebound alive, lobbing low left for the wide open Tad Fisher. Averaging just under 3 points per ball game out of Alamo, California. Tad Fisher stretches the lead to a dozen at 16-4. Other scores currently in the CCIW. North Central leading at Augustana 13-10, 6 minutes into their contest. While Illinois Wesleyan leading by 5 at North Park, 17-12 as they near the midway point of the first half. Tad Fisher whistled for a foul, his first. It's the third against the Thunder here in the half. McCurdy inbounding the basketball to Schroeder. Back to McCurdy in the lane, surrounded, falling away. Flederer with the rebound. Flederer Off to the races, down the center of the lane. Missed the layup, rimming out. Schroeder controls. And McCurdy lost the handle. Flederer, Shackelford, McCrary, DeMoss, and Schultze for Wheaton. Barnett, McCurdy, Schroeder, Ellingson, and Dornfeld for the Blue Jays, who have 22 to shoot. And that lineup for Elmhurst will change with Joe Acosta and Steve Crane returning. Flederer's hands in the face of McCurdy, who inbounds, returns the feed, finds Barnett all by himself on the left edge, colliding with DeMoss, who planted. It's an offensive foul. Mark Scheer with his arms crossed for the Blue Jays, the Elmhurst head coach at a loss for words currently. His team down by a dozen with 11:43 to play in the half. Flederer around a screen from McCrary towards the left corner, bouncing for Schultze, low left. Crane on him defensively. Schultze struggling, picks up his dribble. Shackelford off a screen to the left edge with 15 to shoot. McCrary steps out, showcases his range, and hits the 17-footer. McCrary can do it all. It's 18-4 Wheaton. Acosta high right, above his head, wants to move. Around McCrary to the basket, up and in. Elmhurst just 2 of 10 from the floor as Acosta takes, and it's 18-6. McCrary all by himself on the right edge, looks for an open Schultze. Good feed over the top, and Crane and in low left. Trading buckets, it's 20-6 in favor of the Thunder. Crane wants the basketball. Acosta finds him in an offensive foul against Crane. 4 fresh bodies for the Blue Jays. Mark Scheer looking to find something that is working here early on. Robertson, Foster, Boyd, Acosta, and Dornfeld for the Blue Jays. Wheaton resetting the floor as well. McCrary between the rings to the left side for Haynes, bouncing low left for Flederer underneath the basket and through. Johns, Flederer, Peters, McCrary, and Haynes, the 5 for Wheaton, as we near the midway point of the first half, and a first half that has belonged to Wheaton. 16-point lead is the largest of the game. Acosta, jump stop at the left elbow. Looking for help, clears out to Boyd with 15 to shoot. Robertson, right corner, net by Peters. Hands off to Dornfeld. Dornfeld on the right edge, looks for the cutting Boyd. Inside the left elbow, splash from 13. Well, the Blue Jays are starting to heat up on the offensive end. The problem is Wheaton has come out with such a solid start that Elmhurst is already down double figures on their home floor. Here is Haynes taking and running over the top of Dornfeld, who is set. Haynes strong to the hole, but Dornfeld set in position to draw the offensive foul. And Haynes will take a seat as Schultze returns because Haynes is whistled for foul number 2. 9:37 to play in the opening 20. Wheaton 22, Elmhurst 8. The Thunder were kind of the third thought in the CCIW this season. Everybody figured it would be the Carthage and Illinois Wesleyan show as James Robertson steps back and buries a 3. Carthage, the preseason favorites in the conference. Illinois Wesleyan picks second, and then Wheaton and Augustana in there as well. Augustana has been the surprise story as McCrary spins around Acosta and drops it in underneath. 24-11. 6 points for McCrary in the ball game. And the Thunder have kind of struggled a little bit with a tough schedule to open CCIW play, a lot of road games. This is already their 4th road contest of the season, and this their 6th game. Foster tries to drive up the left side, denied by Flederer, backs up. Dornfeld with his back to the bucket. Just inside the 3-point arc. He'll leave it for Foster on the move to the basket. Floats home the 6-footer. 24-13 with 8:23 to play in the half. Andrew Johns will slowly walk it up the floor. Elmhurst is starting to gather a little momentum. They're getting their feet underneath them, and McCrary has other ideas. Acosta went for the steal, and McCrary had an uncontested layup off of the bounce pass from Johns. 26-13. Here's Boyd, top of the key, to the left edge for Robertson. Starting to move towards the right elbow. Clearing out for Acosta with 18 to shoot. Acosta on the move to the left elbow. Back to Robertson. Throwing it away. It is off the referee and into the left corner for Foster, who recovers and hits the 18-footer. A break for the Blue Jays. Referee standing right on top of the play. It hit off of him rather than going into the first row of seats. Foster saw it, chased it down, and hit the wide open 18-footer. 26-15. Schulte is short with a right-handed hook shot in the lane. Foster comes away for the Blue Jays, who have an opportunity to pull under double digits for the first time since very early on. Robertson in the right corner for three. Got it. Second three-pointer of the game for James Robertson. Here come the Blue Jays. 26-18 with 7:02 to play. Johns works against Robertson, picks up his dribble and bounces to Schulte. Back towards McCrary. Acosta on him defensively. McCrary will work into the lane, spinning, coming left, back to the right, tosses up a 6-footer off to the right. Boyd leaps in for the rebound. A big possession for Elmhurst here on offense. Boyd, shy of the right elbow from 17 and good. 26-20. The Blue Jays trailing only by 6 with 6:25 remaining in the half. And Mike Schauer may want to think about spending his first time out of the half. Flederer pops out. Three-pointer off the back iron. Dornfeld the rebound. Foster up the right edge of the floor using a screen from Dornfeld to the left edge. Clears out for a spotting Boyd. Wing left three-pointer short. Tried to follow his shot to no avail. Johns a behind-the-back move to bring in the rebound. To Peters on the left edge. Under 6 minutes to play in the half. Wheaton by 6. Schulte working on Dornfeld. Fails to finish on the hook shot on the left edge. Boyd comes away, and another big trip for the Blue Jays. Cutting to the basket is Robertson, blocked by Schulte. Out of bounds, it'll stay with the Blue Jays as both teams changing up the lineups. Elmhurst with 25 to shoot. McCurdy lobs for Crane in the lane, spinning, rolling, no, a travel. Reset the floor for you here at R.A. Faginal Hall. Johns, Shackelford, DeMoss, McCrary, and Fisher for Wheaton. Crane, Robertson, McCurdy, Boyd, and Schroeder. Shackelford will try a three from the right side. Rebound is tapped by McCrary into the waiting arms of Schroeder. Here's Robertson, a quick three, it's short. Schroeder tries to keep the rebound alive, but DeMoss plays it to himself. Here's McCrary over the top of Crane. Tried to float home a 12-footer to no avail. It's an air ball as Schroeder collects. Ahead to McCurdy to a spotting Robertson. Wing right, three-pointer, you bet! And a timeout for Wheaton. Elmhurst has come roaring back from down 16 points early in the ball game to trailing only by 3, 26-23, as Wheaton takes a full timeout. Behind the hot shooting of James Robertson, 3 three-pointers. With 4:47 remaining in the half, we step aside. This is Blue Jay TV.
It's been great. I've been able to achieve some of my goals I've set for myself, and I guess coming to a smaller school in wrestling, I got to be able to start right away and wrestle every year so far. Coming here and be able to compete right away is great. Since coming here in wrestling, I've I'm a 3-time All-American. I won a national championship this year, went undefeated. 2-time conference champion, conference outstanding wrestler this year. Me and Coach Marinette are pretty close. I go in there all the time and talk to him, not just about wrestling. And since coming here, I've been able to like relate closer to like my team and the coaches and stuff.
Back to live action at R.A. Faginal Hall in Elmhurst. The Blue Jays, once down by 16 at 20-4. Trail by only 3, 26-23 with 4.5 remaining in the opening 20. On the move to the basket is Johns, looking for a foul call. Nothing there. The Blue Jays in transition wanted a kick as McCurdy tried to bounce for Schroeder. Away come the Thunder, swatted by Crane, and he did get a piece. Tad Fisher was fouled by Steve Crane. It is the second against the Blue Jay big man. And Tad Fisher stepping to the free throw line. Fisher on the season, 5 of 8, 62% from the free throw line. As his first attempt is off the back iron. 2-year varsity starter at San Ramon Valley out in California. Wheaton has 5 players on the floor and 2 players at the scorer's table, but yet neither at the scorer's table will be allowed to enter. Interesting. There's the second free throw good from Fisher. Flederer and Schultze return. Flederer, Schultze, DeMoss, McCrary, and Johns for Wheaton. Elmhurst with Robertson, Dornfeld, McCurdy, Boyd, and Schroeder. 4:05 to play in the half. 27-23, Wheaton with the lead. Entry pass low right for Dornfeld. Drops it in over the top of Schultze. And it's 27-25. The Blue Jays are within 2. It's as close as they have been in this contest. Schultze backing up against Dornfeld, too strong to the rack. Boyd racing up the right edge of the floor around a screen from Dornfeld. A collision. Boyd takes to the basket. Counted and a foul. We're tied at 27. And Zach Boyd on his way to the free throw line. The leading scorer for Elmhurst this year, looking to give the Blue Jays the lead for the first time today. Wheaton grabbed the 2-0 advantage off of the opening tip. Elmhurst tied it at 2-2, and then it was off to the races for the Thunder. So the Blue Jays have never led, and this is just the second tie of the game. As Boyd looks to give Elmhurst the advantage, the right-handed toss is good. 28-27 Elmhurst. 3:30 to play. The Thunder held a 16-point first half advantage. Elmhurst hit on just 2 of their first 10 shots, but they stayed the course, worked on the defensive end first, and have taken the lead. And McCrary misses a jump hook in the lane, and a foul on the rebound against McCrary. One of the top players in the CCIW this season, thought to be, along with Steve Jurakovic of Carthage, a candidate for the CCIW Player of the Year. Jurakovic won the honor last year and was the National Player of the Year as well. And now McCrary will sit for the final 3:12 with 2 fouls. Nearly averaging a double-double, 9.7 rebounds and 16.4 points per game. Robertson off of a screen, thought about a 3, drives instead, had his shot partially blocked by Flederer. Rebound is controlled by Mickey DeVries. DeVries has entered for the Thunder. Under 3 minutes to play. DeMoss backs it up, calls out the play. Signals with his right hand as Fisher pops out. Bounces for the cutting Johns, and Robertson was there defensively. Solid defensive play and a collision. No signal of yet. And it is an offensive foul. Mark Scheer is livid. The Blue Jay head coach is right in the face of the referee. Tad Fisher came in defensively. McCurdy looked up, and as he looked up, collided with Fisher Shear's argument is that Fisher was never set. The referee justifying his decision with the Blue Jay bench boss. With 2:40 to play in the half, Fisher will have the honors of inbounding. DeMoss, dead on, drives up the left edge of the lane. Too long off the back of the rim. The Thunder can't buy a bucket. Here's McCurdy up the left side of the lane. Switches hands from his right to his left. Dornfeld with a rebound as it knocked out of bounds. It stays with the Blue Jays. Deontay Foster off of the bench for Elmhurst. He'll join Boyd, Schroeder, Dornfeld, and Ellingson. For the Thunder, DeVries, Flederer, DeMoss, Johns, and Fisher. Around a double screen, Zach Boyd drops it in a little left. It's a 3-point lead, 30-27 with 2:15 remaining in the first. What a turn of events for Elmhurst here on their home floor. Johns to the right side, throws it up, contact, and an offensive foul. That is the second foul on Johns. With 2:09 remaining in the half. Fisher will pressure Ellingson, who bounces to Foster. Wheaton is in the man defense. Stretched out a little bit to apply some pressure on the inbounds pass. The Blue Jays were able to recover. Now with less than 2 minutes to play in the first. Foster for the cutting Boyd, a little too far over the baseline and out of bounds. That is the 12th turnover of the half for Elmhurst. The Blue Jays continue to lead by 3, 30-27. Down to 1:50 to play as Johns walks ahead. Swinging right for Nathan Haynes. One dribble to his left with the left hand. In the lane for Fisher. Double team help comes. He saw the open Haynes who finished. Haynes right away. Points appreciation towards Fisher. 30-29. Boyd around a screen at the top of the arc. Into the right corner for Schroeder. Passing on a three, driving with his defender airborne. Clearing out to Ellingson, three-pointer swish! Eric Ellingson with a huge three for the Blue Jays. Wheaton had gone almost 7 minutes without a basket before Haynes' layup moments ago. And a quick miss for the Thunder. Allow the Blue Jays to race ahead. Foster tosses it off the glass. No, out of bounds. Last tipped by the Thunder. And now it is Mike Schauer, who is not a happy camper, the Wheaton head coach, thundering up and down the sidelines. 40 7/10 to play. A lob for the wide open Boyd. Boy, the Blue Jays have put together some very solid inbounds plays. Zach Boyd with the bucket, a 6-point Elmhurst lead. 35-29. Boyd with 11 in the first half. With a 1-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, the Thunder will run it almost all the way down. Flederer stands just inside the half-court line. He starts to move with 10 seconds. Into the right corner for Johns. Pulling up, three-pointer falling away, no. Rebound is loose on the floor. Johns will toss it up on the baseline from 7, and it falls through as we reach the half. But a tremendous opening 20 minutes of play for the Blue Jays. Down 20-4, come storming back and head to the locker room by virtue of a 31-11 run, leading by 4. 35-31 is the score at the break. Coming up for you during our halftime presentation here on Blue Jay TV, we'll run down the CCIW standings. Check in on those other games around the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. Have some first half numbers. We'll take a look back at the women's contest earlier today a 74-60 victory for the Blue Jay women. And we'll also talk about what else is happening in the world of Elmhurst College athletics. All that and more comes your way in moments. Halftime at R.A. Faginal Hall. Elmhurst 35, Wheaton 31. This is Blue Jay TV.
Had a great experience at Elmhurst. I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I've played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big soccer resort, and there was all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
The balance with athletics in school, it's just, with me, I did it all throughout high school, so I needed to do sports in order to stay focused. I run cross country in the fall and track in the spring. I was injured my freshman year, and I just felt so off track. It didn't feel natural. I think a lot of the students coming from high school and coming to D3, it's what they need to stay focused. I mean, if you could do it in high school, you could do it here. The bigger schools, you don't have the coach time like you do here. You can just join the team and just have fun. We actually just went to Tennessee for a spring break trip, so it was different. It was a lot of fun being able to travel. We had 2 first-place finishes, so it was kind of impressive. It's nice having that other family aside from being at home, because you're with them all the time. Don't be afraid to go out there and try new things.
Solid first half for Elmhurst, and I use the word solid very loosely because solid would be quite the understatement for Elmhurst, who was down by 16 points, not quite at the halfway point of the first, struggling to find their rhythm, made only 2 of their first 10 shots, stayed the course, and find themselves in front of Wheaton, 35-31 at the break. What a performance by Elmhurst, who led by as many as 6 in the first half of play as well. Coming up, we'll take a look at those first half numbers for you, which will show you the anatomy of the comeback for the Blue Jays. But first, let's examine the CCIW standings entering play today. Only one team unbeaten, that would be Augustana College. With a win today, Augustana would set a new school record for consecutive victories to start a season. They have never been 17-0. They've been 16-0 only once before. They are 16-0 currently and 5-0 in the CCIW, but they have quite the challenge today at home. They're hosting North Central, and we'll tell you the score of that in a few moments. Illinois Wesleyan and North Central are both 4-1, tied for second. Illinois Wesleyan 13-3. North Central is 8-8. Wheaton and Carthage 2-3. Wheaton 11-5, Carthage 9-7. Elmhurst 2-3 as well, as the Blue Jays are 7-9. Meanwhile, North Park 7-9 and 1-4, and Milliken with only 1 win on the year. The Big Blue are 1-14, and they are 0-5 in the CCIW. So those are the standings entering play today. One game has gone final. Milliken remains winless, while Carthage reaches the 500 mark in the conference. The Red Men are now 3-3. Milliken is 0-6 following a 64-49 victory for Carthage on the road today. So that game has gone final. And the other scores around the CCIW currently, with 2 minutes to play in the first half, Augustana starting to pull away a little bit from North Central as the Vikings lead the Cardinals 30-23. And the other score, Illinois Wesleyan up by just 2 at the half on the road at North Park, 30-31. 28. So those are your scores and standings from around the CCIW. Taking a look to the week ahead, Elmhurst is on the road Wednesday at North Central. North Park is at Carthage, Milliken at Wheaton, and Illinois Wesleyan at Augustana. So those are the upcoming matchups for next week in the CCIW. Today it is Elmhurst 35, Wheaton 31. That's our count at the half. Back in moments. This is Blue Jay TV.
It's tough trying to balance homework and practice, but I feel like our coaches stress academics to a point where you have to succeed. I'm actually a hometown kid. I grew up in Elmhurst. When the football team approached me, it was kind of like a lock, you know? I get to go to school in my hometown, play football. When you get to play something that you love, along with getting that education, it's priceless. Coming here, I was just surprised at how close everybody is on campus. I know pretty much everybody in terms of athletics on the campus. You will not want to leave this place come senior year. I'm going to live up this last year that I got for everything that's worth.
I have had a great experience at Elmhurst. I'm obviously involved with the volleyball program. We're like sisters. It was instant friends as soon as I came here. Every year, the seniors get to pick places where we want to go for a tournament. So we've been to California, Colorado, Boston, and it's just been a fun experience because not only do we play volleyball, we also get to do touristy types of things. I would say we're pretty close because we practice 5 days a week for 2.5 hours. We're lifting, we're doing bonding things, and we're traveling on the weekends. So you're pretty much with these girls for 3 months every single day for hours. So we're all pretty close.
Wrestling here has been great. I've been able to achieve some of my goals I've set for myself, and I guess coming to a smaller school in wrestling, I got to be able to start right away and wrestle every year so far. Coming here and be able to compete right away is great. Since coming here in wrestling, I'm a 3-time All-American. I won a national championship this year, went undefeated, 2-time conference champion, conference outstanding wrestler this year. Me and Coach Barrett are pretty close. I go in there all the time and talk to him, not just about wrestling. And since coming here, I've been able to relate closer to my team and the coaches and stuff.
Back at R.A. Faginal Hall, halftime, Elmhurst 35, Wheaton 31. Glad to have you with us on Blue Jay TV. I'm Tim Calderwood, clad in the Bears colors today. I do have my shirt and tie on underneath in case you were wondering, because I'm awesome like that. Solid first half for the Blue Jays. We'll run down the numbers for you in a few moments. They were down by 16 points at the midway point of the first half and came storming back in the contest, currently leading by 4. The Elmhurst College women were victorious earlier today, 74-60 the final score, in a contest that they virtually led wire to wire, jumping out to a solid start to both the first and second halves, and that paved the way for the Blue Jays to shoot 54% in the second half and 46% in the ball game on their way to the 74-60 win. In the contest, Elmhurst led by Megan Merklin's 18 points, Megan Ney with 16, and Kelsey Monroe with 14, as the Blue Jays improved their record to 3-3 in the CCIW, 8-9, which is the same thing that the Blue Jay men are trying to do here tonight against Wheaton. The Elmhurst College women will face North Central and Augustana next. Augustana will be at home on Saturday, a contest you can see live here on Blue Jay TV. That will be our next broadcast. But we will have audio for you on Tuesday from North Central as Elmhurst faces North Central in women's basketball action on Tuesday, and the men will be there on Wednesday with audio for you that night as well. So that's the upcoming schedule. Meanwhile, the Elmhurst College wrestling team there at Wisconsin Whitewater taking part in the border battle. Blue Jays are 8-3. They lost to North Central in their last contest in a tight one, while the Elmhurst College track and field seasons will be getting started next week. They'll be at the University of Chicago for an indoor invitational. I know you're probably thinking, it's kind of cold outside, a little cold to be running, right? Yeah, well, that's why they're going inside like we are currently. So the indoor track and field season will start next week. All of that is on the docket for Elmhurst College Athletics. Time for our final break. When we return, first half numbers and analysis. This is Blue Jay TV.
College football 4 years is very tough, but it's also very, very rewarding. And I think this past year is just a tribute to the hard work that I put in these past 3 years, and the team did. I mean, we won the most football games since 1985. That was probably the biggest highlight of my 4 years here. We had our ups and we had our downs, and I think we just stayed together through those and persevered together. Well, my professional goal is to teach and coach. You know, definitely want to coach football. I got the experience from the 4 years at Elmhurst, which is going to be very beneficial for coaching experience in the future.
Down 16, Elmhurst comes roaring back in the first half and finds themselves in front 35-31. I'm Tim Calderwood with you on Blue Jay TV. Couple of numbers I'm going to throw in your general direction as the Blue Jays in the first half shoot 48% from the floor. Now listen to this. They were 14 of 29 in the first half of play. Realize they started 2 of 10. From that point on, which was right before the midway point of the first half, the Blue Jays shot 12 of 19. Included in that was some tremendous three-point shooting by James Robertson. 5 of 7 from three-point range for the Blue Jays, 71% in the first half. Now Wheaton started out by hitting 5 of their first 6 shots. They finished the first half shooting 13 of 30, 43%. So after making 5 of their first 6, including a perfect 3 of 3 from three-point range, the Thunder did not make another three-pointer. They were 3 of 6, and they finished the half just 8 of 24. Some numbers for you to chew on as we ready for the second half here at R.A. Faginal Hall. Glad to have you alongside. Elmhurst 35, Wheaton 31. Tale of two teams, really. Both Elmhurst and Wheaton look like two completely different teams in the first and second halves of the opening 20, respectively. Elmhurst will open with the basketball, starting 5 on the floor. Joe Acosta, Zach Boyd, James Robertson, Steve Crane, and Mike McCurdy. Robertson, baseline left, tosses up a 16-footer rimming out. Andrew Johns controls for the Thunder. Starting 5 for Wheaton as well. It is Johns, Jeremy Flederer, Tim McCrary. With the basketball and shooting a three-pointer, John DeMoss, which rims out to the left, and Spencer Schultze. Rebound is out of bounds, off of the missed three-pointer, off of the Blue Jays, staying with Wheaton. Elmhurst out-rebounded Wheaton by 10 in the first half, 22-12. 7 of those rebounds are on the offensive end, and the Blue Jays able to overcome 12 turnovers. McCrary in the paint, skips it over into the right corner for Flederer. Three-pointer is good. One basket trims the lead to 1 point, 35-34. Leading scorer for Elmhurst in the first half, Zach Boyd with 11. James Robertson with 9 on those 3 threes. How about Mike McCurdy? Fed perfectly, knifing to the basket from Joe Acosta. 8 points each for Andrew Johns and Tim McCrary in the first half of play. Counted in a foul. Take your pick on the foul for the Blue Jays with both Acosta and Boyd on their backs. Charge it to Acosta. His first. It is the first of the half for the Blue Jays, and looking to finish off a three-point play is John DeMoss. He did not step to the line in the first half. And his first attempt of the day drops in for the 74% shooter on the year. We are even at 37. Mentioned turnovers. Wheaton turned it over 7 times in the first half. Elmhurst 12. Well, 11 points off of those 12 turnovers for Wheaton. Robertson angles right. Flederer on him defensively. He'll sling it to Acosta with 13 to shoot. Acosta moves left. Lobs for Crane. Low left, and he's knocked to the floor. Steve Crane will have free throws upcoming. Glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV. Every Elmhurst College men's and women's basketball game at home will be covered with live video for you on Blue Jay TV. We'll have audio of most of the road conference games as well. Steve Crane to the free throw line. will not fall in. He's 1 of 3 from the free throw line today. Elmhurst product, played 2 years at Lewis University, was off last season, back on the floor with the Blue Jays, and hitting on free throw attempt number 2. Crane with 2 points in the ball game, both at the stripe. It's a 1-point Elmhurst lead, 38-37. Johns with the ball above his head, rotates to the right side. Schulte along the baseline, throws it away. Somebody zigged when they should have zagged. Or someone was caught flat-footed as well. Robertson moving left towards McCurdy in the right corner. 18 minutes remaining. Acosta high left above his head, swinging for Boyd in front of the Blue Jay bench. Acosta swings out onto the right side. Crane at the free throw line, looking to drive up the right side over the top of Schulte, too strong. McCreary chases down the rebound. Wheaton can take the lead with the basket. Flederer left corner, clearing out towards DeMoss. Wanted to shoot, drives instead, blocked by Crane, but it was on the way down. They'll score it, goaltending. Good crowd gathered here today for the CCIW matchup tonight in Elmhurst. Plenty of Wheaton fans across the way from us here as well, as the Thunder take the lead at 39-38. McCurdy with his back to the basket, starts to move, bounces for Acosta. He'll go court wide for Boyd. Acosta with a left hand, crosses over to the right, drives, throws it up, contact on the way. Joe Acosta, very quiet first half, was on the floor for just 9 minutes. In fact, it was the bench for the Blue Jays that really helped lead them back into the contest. Double-digit minutes for Deontay Foster, Aaron Schroeder, and Eric Dornfeld in the first half, compared to just 9 minutes for Mike McCurdy and Joe Acosta, and only 6 for Steve Crane, who was saddled with some foul trouble. Acosta attempting to tie the score with a second free throw short. Crane leaps in for the rebound, missed it. Has to finish. Haynes lost the basketball. It's on the floor. Crane will scoop it up. Baseball toss towards McCurdy to the basket with a right-handed layup. Johns and McCurdy went 50-50 for the ball. McCurdy won it and had an uncontested layup to put the Blue Jays in front 40-39. Johns between the rings, rotates left for DeMoss. Looking to lob, McCreary posting. Johns backs it up as the Wheaton fans start to make some noise. 10 to shoot for DeMoss at the free throw line. Spins left around Boyd, can't finish. Crane cleans up on the weak side. Boyd for the cutting McCurdy, a little too strong. Cleared out for Robinson, who was looking to shoot with his socks hiked up today. McCurdy cuts to the basket again. It is free. Robertson comes away, pulls up. Three-pointer off the back iron. Robertson buried 3 first-half threes. It'll lead to an odd-man rush for the Thunder. DeMoss converts, and he's got a free throw on the way as well. Third foul against Steve Crane. And to the free throw line, lugs John DeMoss. DeMoss free throw is in to finish the three-point play. He will exit with 15:59 to play. Let's reset the floor for Elmhurst. Deontay Foster, James Robertson, Eric Dornfeld, Joe Acosta, and Zach Boyd. For the Thunder, Josh Quam with his first appearance of the ball game. Jeremy Flederer, along with Tyler Peters and Tim McCreary, as Elmhurst spends a timeout, a 30-second timeout. Wheaton 42, Elmhurst 40, 15:44 to play. A 30-second timeout for the Blue Jays. We keep it here during the stoppage. Leading scorers in the contest for Elmhurst. Zach Boyd with 11 points. James Robertson 9. Neither have been able to score here in the second half. Meanwhile, John DeMoss heated up for the Thunder. He now owns 11 points in the ball game, 8 here in the second half early. And he's the only Wheaton player in double figures. Deontay Foster inbounding the basketball to Robertson. Back on the Wheaton side of things. Boyd looking to drive down the right side of the lane, contact, and he'll shoot. Zach Boyd has been silent for the Blue Jays today. 11 points, but a very quiet 11 points. Wheaton has done a very good job on the Blue Jay junior out of Warrensburg, Illinois, averaging 15.1 points per ball game. 2 shots upcoming for Boyd, who hears it from the Wheaton fans. He just puts it behind him and buries the free throw. Zach Boyd is 78% foul shooter this year, 50 of 64 at the line. More makes, more attempts than any member on the Elmhurst squad. To tie the score at 42, his second toss is up, and it is just like the first. 15:32 to play, even at 42 aside. And what has been a very exciting ball game tonight here in Elmhurst. Flederer, one dribble to his right, leaves it high for Peters. On the move, bouncing for Schulte. Baseline right, back out to Peters. Looking to move against Schroeder, spinning between 2 defenders, off the glass and in. Peters split Schroeder and Dornfeld defensively. And Wheaton is again in front. Here's Foster between the legs, shuttling towards Ellingson. Quam on him defensively. Johns guns for the steal. Ellingson is open in the left corner, falls to the floor, wanted a foul, didn't get it, missed the 3. Rebound chased down by Quam, trying to go coast to coast. Foster swoops in and takes it away. What a play by Deontay Foster defensively. And the Blue Jay fans make some noise. And now Foster looking to do it himself. Picks up his dribble, feeds the cutting Boyd. Off to the right side for Dornfeld, no! And Peters comes away. He'll fake left, collide with Schroeder, bounce for Schulte. Too strong, offensive foul. Dornfeld pounding his hands together in excitement. With 14:14 remaining, it is the second foul against Spencer Schulte in the post. Wheaton will put on a little bit of press here. Eric Ellingson is bothered by Quam. It's on his left hip. Ellingson reaching out, colliding, and an offensive foul. Eric Ellingson sensed Josh Quam on him, and he reached out the forearm, pushing him out of the way. Second foul against Ellingson. 44-42 Wheaton. DeMoss high left. Into the left corner for Fisher. Right hand dribble towards the free throw line. Dumps it off for Johns. He's all by himself on the left edge. Spins around Foster and lays it in. 46-42. Foster backing up. Looking to move. Bounces for a cutting Schroeder. It's swatted away. John DeMoss with a block for the Thunder. Mark Shear pleading for some contact as he chats with some of the officiating crew. Tim Birch, David King, Mike O'Neill are the referees today, as assigned by the CCIW. A wet spot on the floor. Spencer Schulte is on his knees wiping it up. James Robertson will help out as well. 13:26 to play. Foster bouncing it in towards Robertson. In front of the student section, falling out of bounds, forced to call timeout. Elmhurst has only 2 timeouts remaining with 13:22 to play. The Blue Jays trail it 46-42. This is Blue Jay TV.
It's tough trying to balance homework and practice, but I feel like our coaches stress academics to a point where you have to succeed. I'm actually a hometown kid. I grew up in Elmhurst. When the football team approached me, it was kind of like a lock, you know? I get to go to school in my hometown, play football. When you get to play something that you love, along with getting that education, it's priceless. Coming here, I was just surprised at how close everybody is on campus. I know pretty much everybody in terms of athletics on the campus. You will not want to leave this place come senior year. I'm going to live up this last year that I got for everything that's worth.
Wheaton has upped its shooting percentage to 50% in the contest. One of the biggest reasons why they've been able to take advantage here early in the second half. Find themselves leading 46-42 on the board as they have outscored Elmhurst 15-7 to open the second half. Elmhurst will inbound the basketball. Deontay Foster with the honors. Right on the backside of the Elmhurst logo. Bounces in the block for Dornfeld. Yes. Eric Dornfeld converting for the Blue Jays to snap a scoreless spell. 46-44 with 13:02 remaining. Schulte high left. Out to Quam. Passing on the shot, rotating to the left instead for Fisher. He'll try the 3. Rebound tapped around. Schulte finds himself wide open underneath. And he'll deposit it with the right hand. 48-44 Wheaton. 12:40 to play. Fisher on Foster. The count is on. Foster picks up his dribble. Bounces for Dornfeld. Face up as he pivots. Starts to drive, leaning in, contact, offensive foul. There have been a lot of offensive fouls called in the ball game today, and Mark Scheer is none too happy about this particular offensive foul call. Flederer, Johns, Haynes, Fisher, and DeMoss, the 5 for Wheaton. Fisher with the left hand, bouncing left to the corner towards Johns. On the move, driving baseline, up and in. Elmhurst countering with Foster, Robertson, Schroeder, Dornfeld, and Bailey Barnett off the bench. Schroeder looking for help. Clearing out to Dornfeld. He'll hand off to Robertson, ranging around the arc. And a foul is called there. The 5th against the Thunder. 2nd against Jeremy Flederer. $11:50 remaining. If you missed the first half, Elmhurst was down 20-4 and came roaring back. They led by 4 at the break, 35-31. Here's Robertson, high right, three-pointer is through. His 4th three-pointer of the game. Robertson was a 33% three-point shooter coming into the contest, 11 of 33. He is 4 of 6 from bonus distance tonight. 50-47 as the Blue Jays slice the lead in half. 11:10 to play. Fisher takes it to the basket. He's undressed by Schroeder. Foster collects, works his way around DeMoss. Foster still with a left-hand dribble, backs it up and runs the offensive set. Looking for help. Onto the left edge for Robertson. Around a screen from Dornfeld. Robertson floats up the 12-footer. Offensive foul there. John DeMoss drew the charge. Second on Robertson, fifth against the Blue Jays. And again, some wet spots on the floor. Crane and Acosta return for the Blue Jays, joining McCurdy, Robertson, and Boyd as the five on the floor, which are the starters for Elmhurst. Tyler Peters looks to drive, slings it left for Johns. Peters will pop out. Looking to move on the left edge for an open McCrary, 16-footer good. McCrary into double figures for the Thunder. He has 10. The third Wheaton player to cross into double-digit territory today. 52-47 coming up on the midway point of the second half. Peters on Acosta, angling left. Here's McCurdy with 15 to shoot into the right corner. Robertson off a screen, three-pointer is long. One-handed rebound for Peters. He knocked it with his right and brought it in with his left. And now Peters to Flederer, baseline left, 16-footer you bet. 54-47, 7-point lead for the Thunder. Elmhurst needs to start finding points in bunches, or they could end up falling behind like we saw in the first half. This time, however, time not on their side. With 9:25 to play. Acosta bounces for McCurdy. To the right side, Boyd. Three-pointer. Swish! Zach Boyd with a three-pointer. 54-50 Wheaton. With 9:07 to play. Flederer, left corner three-pointer is good to answer. And a timeout for the Thunder. Jeremy Flederer with 10 points for Wheaton, the fourth double-digit scorer for the Thunder today. And as we have a timeout on the floor, we will break with 9:01 to play. 57-50, Wheaton with the advantage. This is Blue Jay TV.
Balance with athletics in school, it's just, with me, I did it all throughout high school, so I needed to do sports in order to stay focused. I run cross country in the fall and track in the spring. I was injured my freshman year and I just felt like so off track. It didn't feel natural. Like, I think a lot of the students coming from high school and coming to D3, it's like what they need to stay focused. I mean, if you could do it in high school, you could do it here. The bigger schools, you don't have the coach time like you do here. You can just join the team and just have fun. We actually just went to Tennessee for a spring break trip, so it was different. It was a lot of fun being able to travel. We had 2 first-place finishes, so it was kind of impressive. It's nice having like that other family aside from being at home, because you're with them all the time. Don't be afraid to go out there and try new things.
Seven-point lead for Wheaton, 57-50 here at R.A. Fagottle Hall with 9:01 to play. Let's check in on the other scores around the CCIW currently. A surprise brewing in Chicago. North Park on top of Illinois Wesleyan, 44-41 with 8:43 to play. Meanwhile, down in Rock Island, Augustana pulling away from North Central. The Vikings looking to establish a new school record for their best start in school history, leading North Central 45-31 in a matchup of two of the top teams in the CCIW early this season. 15 to shoot for Deontay Foster, who is losing the basketball towards the corner. Acosta controls and he tangles up with Quam. And a foul will be called against Quam. The first against Josh Quam, who hails from Canton, Georgia. His brother Michael is also on the Wheaton College varsity roster. Had a sister who played for the Thunder a couple of years ago as well on the women's side of things. 8:23 to go. Looking for Crane in the lane, knocked away by McCrary. Johns collects, leads McCrary in transition towards Johns, and Crane with his arms up denied the outlet pass. Johns along the baseline, colliding with Crane, still managed to adjust the shot. 59-50, the Thunder by 9. The Thunder have certainly found a way to get the ball into their playmakers' hands here in the second half. Crane finishes himself. Lederer towards McCrary. Johns again isolated on the baseline around a screen. He'll pull up and shoot this time from 15 and convert. Spinning around. 61-52. Here comes Foster. Bouncing to the right edge for Acosta. Crane is posting, wants the basketball. Robertson pokes out. He'll try the three. Long. Quam the rebound. Ahead towards Johns, falling down in the paint. And he throws it away. Foster off of his leg into the right corner. Acosta controls there as he recovers. Bouncing for the wide open Robertson with a finish. (61-54) with under 7 minutes to play. Peters with his back to the bucket. Backing in Acosta. Trying to go underneath Acosta. Left it well short. Boyd with a rebound. Boyd ahead, out to Robertson. High left, three-pointer, bingo! Robertson again with his 5th three-pointer of the ball game. 61-57. He has been a huge key for the Blue Jays today. And he gets in on the act defensively with a kick as well. And now he heads to the bench for a breather. Our next broadcast on Blue Jay TV, 1 week from today, women's action against Augustana. 5 o'clock tip. The men will follow at 7:30. Reset the floor. Foster, Schroeder, Dornfeld, McCurdy, and Boyd for the Blue Jays. Lederer will attempt a three-pointer from the top of the arc. No. Rebound tapped back by Boyd into the waiting arms of McCurdy, who trudges ahead. Around a screen from Dornfeld, moving to the right corner. Foster dribbles left. Dornfeld wants the basketball. He's posting and calling for the basketball. Good job by McCrary to deny. Here's McCurdy to the basket. Blocked by McCrary, who got a piece as well. Johns, Lederer, Peters, Quam, and McCrary, the 5 for the Thunder. But it likely won't stay that way much longer. As McCurdy steps to the line, shooting a pair. McCurdy, an 80% foul shooter on the season, spinning out. Blue Jays, a very solid free throw shooting team this year, are just 5 of 10 at the line today. The foul on McCrary was his 4th. He sits with 5:37 to play. McCurdy tries again, and his second is through. 61-58. Johns, wing right, on the move to the right elbow. Looking to leave it for DeMoss underneath. DeMoss wasn't ready. Boyd is on the scene defensively, and Boyd collides with Johns, a foul. The 8th against the Thunder. Andrew Johns pleading his case. 1-1 for the Blue Jays. Zach Boyd with 16 points, stepping to the stripe. James Robertson leading all scorers with 17. Boyd can equal Robertson here. He's 3 of 3 at the line today. And make it 4 of 4 with a friendly roll. to pull the Blue Jays within one. Boyd's second attempt is through, 61-60 with 5:20 to play. Hope you're enjoying what has been a very exciting basketball game here tonight. CCIW men's basketball action. Spencer Schulte kind of holding it and looking for something to happen. He'll locate Peters with 15 to shoot. Peters in the lane, up high towards Fisher. On the move, leaning in, colliding with Foster. Clearing out to Schulte, elbow right off the back iron. Rebound tapped around, out of bounds off of Elmhurst. Jeremy Flederer will return for the Thunder. Again, Tim McCrary on the bench with 4 fouls. Schulte, right wing, towards Peters. Johns pops out, knew his shot was off, attempt to follow it on the miss from 17. But it is Zach Boyd for the Blue Jays who can take the lead with a basket. Boyd leaps, tosses home an 8-footer, banking off. Schulte, elbows, offensive foul. Schulte with the rebound, attempted to rid himself of Eric Dornfeld and knocked him to the floor with an elbow. That's the third on Schulte. Here comes McCrary with 4 fouls. Follow Elmhurst College Athletics on Twitter. There's the address on your screen. It'll have the schedule of all the upcoming events here on Blue Jay TV, in addition to scores, results, and so much more. If you are a Twitterer or a tweeter, McCrary pushes Dornfeld. He's done. A huge loss for the Thunder with 4:17 to play. McCrary fouls out. Spencer Schulte will come get McCrary, who is done for the game, exiting with just 10 points and 5 rebounds. Dornfeld to shoot 2. It was the 10th foul against the Thunder. Eric Dornfeld, 10 of 15 this year, 66.7%. For the tie, no. First attempt today for Dornfeld. He'll try again, puffing at the stripe. And his 15-footer is not good. Leaping up is DeMoss with 4:12 to play. The Thunder clinging to a 1-point lead. Peters thinking about shooting. Carrying instead with a left hand. Over to DeMoss on the left wing for 3. Good. 4-point lead. 6th three-pointer of the ball game for Wheaton. 64-60 with 3:50 remaining. McCurdy crossing over. Trying the left side of the lane. Looking for help over to Boyd. Boyd will reset. Schroeder cutting to the basket. Here's Foster driving in between 2 defenders, pulling up outside the lane and hitting the 9-footer. 64-62. Elmhurst needs to stop on defense. Peters thinking about shooting again. DeMoss will shoot, but it's off the mark, and Dornfeld losing the rebound. It's controlled by McCurdy. 3:10 remaining. Foster up the left edge, bouncing for Boyd. It's on the floor, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the diving Jeremy Flederer. Flederer did not play last season for the Thunder. Mark Scheer calling out the play for the Blue Jays. We're all in the vicinity. They'll line up in a stack. And they break as Acosta receives the pass. 3 minutes to play. A 2-point game, 64-62. Dornfeld towards McCurdy in front of the Blue Jay bench. On the move, an 18-footer, rims out. Rebound is tapped at by Robertson, and Schultze brings it in. Johns picking up his dribble. And he'll sling it towards Fletterer in the right corner. Here's DeMoss on the drive, lost the basketball, it's on the floor. McCurdy to the steal, 3-on-2. Foster to the basket. No, rebound tapped at by Acosta. Dornfeld comes in, and Dornfeld will step to the line. Missed 2 free throws moments ago, and now it will be the responsibility of Eric Dornfeld to try and tie the score. He had 2 free throws to try and tie or give the Blue Jays the lead earlier. And now Dornfeld will work on it again. John DeMoss, a little shaken up, leaving the contest and heading towards the Wheaton locker room. Eric Dornfeld, who played in 9 games last year out of Geneseo, Illinois, at the free throw line here, good. Second team all-conference choice as a senior at Geneseo. Also honorable mention All-State. Trying to tie the score with 2:18 to play, and he does. 64-64. Just over 2 minutes to play. And now the fans start to chant back and forth at each other as Fisher moves with the left hand. He is trapped. Clears out to Fletterer on the move. 15 to shoot for the Thunder. Contact as Johns drives the baseline. Elmhurst did have a foul to give, so it will not be free throws for the Thunder. The 6th foul against the Blue Jays. And with less than 2 minutes to play, John DeMoss checks in for Tad Fisher. Johns directing traffic with the right hand, calling for Fletterer to come out and get the basketball. The fans have risen to their feet here at R.A. Faginal Hall as Peters leans in and banks home a 6-footer on the left wing. A timeout for Wheaton, a full timeout. Down to 1:35 to play. Wheaton 66, Elmhurst 64 as we step aside. This is Blue Jay TV.
It's been great. I've been able to achieve some of my goals I've set for myself, and I guess coming to a smaller school in wrestling, I got to be able to start right away and wrestle every year so far. Coming here and be able to compete right away is great. Since coming here in wrestling, I'm a 3-time All-American. I won a national championship this year, went undefeated. 2-time conference champion, conference outstanding wrestler this year. Me and Coach Barrett are pretty close. I go in there all the time and talk to him, not just about wrestling. And since coming here, I've been able to relate closer to my team and the coaches and stuff.
Buckle up here in Elmhurst, 66-64. Wheaton with the advantage in the CCIW Men's Basketball Showdown here on Blue Jay TV. I'm Tim Calderwood. So glad that you are with us. Hopefully this is a good preface for the NFC Championship game tomorrow. The fans on both sides are on their feet with 1:35 to play. It is Elmhurst basketball. Tyler Peters with a make moments ago to put the Thunder ahead. Robertson bouncing for the cutting. Boyd out of bounds off of a Thunder foot. 19 to shoot for the Blue Jays as Foster sprints it out between the circles. He'll roll right. Robertson looking to lob. Down to 7 to shoot. On the baseline, pulling up is Foster for the tie. Deontay Foster hits from 16 to tie it up. 66 all. Peters over towards DeMoss. A lot of standing around for the Thunder here. Peters begins to move with 10 on the shot. Schulte, corner right, backing his way in, clearing out to Peters, who nearly travels, leans in, 13-footer no on the rebound, a foul. It's against Elmhurst, and it means free throws for Wheaton, the 7th foul against the Blue Jays. Only a 1-and-1. As the 2nd foul against Acosta. Tyler Peters shooting for the Thunder. He has not been to the line today. No! Foster collects the rebound. The shot clock has gone dark, and the Blue Jays will hold for the final opportunity after a timeout. But wait a minute. We've got a foul called before the timeout. James Robertson was knocked to the floor as the Blue Jays were trying to call a foul, or trying to call a timeout, and the referee on the near side saw it and charged it to John DeMoss, his first. Now we have the timeout with 20 seconds to play. A timeout for Wheaton, with a score knotted at 66. The thrilling conclusion in moments on Blue Jay TV. Joe Acosta is penciled as the shooter for the Blue Jays with 20 seconds remaining in a tie game. Acosta is 0 of 2 at the free throw line. He is shooting 2, and his first one is in. Acosta gives Elmhurst the lead. Wheaton does have 2 timeouts to work with. The second free throw rims out. Rebound belongs to DeMoss, and now it's up to the Elmhurst defense. Schauer will not use a timeout. Johns on the right baseline from 16, hits for the lead. 7.4, 68-67. Foster crosses half court and calls a timeout with 4.3 to play. Andrew Johns hit on the right baseline to give the Thunder the lead after Acosta split free throws, which put Elmhurst in front. 4.3 to play. Mark Scheer working with the crew. Elmhurst has been involved in quite a few close games this year. They lost their first 2 games of the season, in fact. In overtime at Cornell, 75-70, and here at home to Hamlin, 71-67. Hamlin, meanwhile, went on to upset one of the top teams in the nation this week in St. Thomas. The Blue Jays also own a 6-point win, a 3-point win, an 8-point win, a 1-point loss, a 4-point win, a 2-point win, a 9-point loss, Suffice it to say, folks, they have been in a lot of close games. And with 4.3 to play, the Blue Jays will look to win it in front of the home crowd. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage on Blue Jay TV. The inbounder is James Robertson. Into the right corner for Foster. The clock's not running. The clock's not running. Foster pulls up. The jumper rims out. Schroeder's put back, no. And the game is over. The clock was not running. Elmhurst ended up with more time than they probably should have had and still falls short at home today, 68-67. Foster with one shot, Schroeder a tap at the putback, and the contest comes to a close with Wheaton winning on the road. It is the first road win for the Thunder in CCIW play this year. They had been 0-3 with losses at North Central, at Augustana, and at Illinois Wesleyan. The Thunder are now 3-3 in the CCIW and 12-5 overall, while dropping the Blue Jays to 7-10, 2-4 in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. Post-game coverage in moments. Wheaton 68, Elmhurst 67. This is Blue Jay TV.
I've had a great experience at Elmhurst, I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I've played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big soccer resort, and there was all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
We're actually really good this year. There's 23 of us on the team, so it's quite a large team. We're actually really good this year. There's 23 of us on the team, so it's quite a large team. We were close friends. A lot of the teammates lived together with other teammates. In high school, I wasn't the most organized person because sports were just kind of a side note in high school. Here, you have to really balance yourself. Division III, it's more academics first, softball second. So our coach really strives on the academic portion of the school. And just like yesterday, we had a game. I went to class and came late to the game instead, but the game was canceled, luckily. Softball really kind of taught me some organization skills, I guess.
I wasn't sure getting out of high school if I wanted to bowl in college, but after I graduated high school, I knew that there wasn't any way I was going to not be able to do it. So I'm glad that I came to Elmhurst because it gave me that chance. Last year was a good year, had the first winning record for the team. I really like being on the team. It brings a lot of people together, and it makes it a lot easier to meet other people. We're with each other 24/7 on the weekends when we have tournaments, and 3 days a week for practice. Some of us work out together, go to dinner together. It's nice having those close friends to always fall back on if you need something, and they're always willing to help.
It's tough trying to balance homework and practice, but I feel like our coaches stress academics to a point where you have to succeed. I'm actually a hometown kid. I grew up in Elmhurst. When the football team approached me, it was kind of like a lock, I get to go to school in my hometown, play football. When you get to play something that you love, along with getting that education, it's priceless. Coming here, I was just surprised at how close everybody is on campus. I know pretty much everybody in terms of athletics on the campus. You will not want to leave this place come senior year. I'm going to live up this last year that I got for everything it's worth.
Thrilling conclusion here at R.A. Faginal Hall. Elmhurst falling to Wheaton by the final score of 68-67. The Blue Jays had 2 opportunities in the closing seconds, sprinting the ball across half court, taking a timeout with 4.3 to play. Elmhurst inbounded the basketball to Deontay Foster, who in the right corner attempted a 16-footer that was off the mark. Aaron Schroeder then with the putback chance. Neither went down for the Blue Jays, who fall at home in a close one at the final score of 68-67. Let's take a look at the other games around the CCIW. Currently, there are some interesting developments around the conference. North Park is going to win at home over Illinois Wesleyan. 4 seconds to play. The host Vikings, 65. The nationally ranked Titans, 57. Meanwhile, in the matchup of 2 teams that you could say probably have been the surprise of the CCIW to this point, not that nobody expected Augustana to be good, but to expect Augustana to be 17-0 and ranked in the top 10 in the country as the only team in the CCIW currently in the top 10 in the country, that was kind of a surprise going into this year where a lot of people expected the CCIW to be as loaded as it's ever been. Augustana leading North Central 62-45. North Central a surprise start, 4-1, but they are down by 17 with less than 4 minutes to play on the road in Rock Island today. So those are the scores around the CCIW. Earlier, it was Carthage winning at Milliken in an afternoon affair, meaning that Milliken remains winless. Take a look at the final numbers in the contest in my hands. Wheaton shooting 64% in the second half, and that was the biggest reason why they were able to overcome a 4-point first half deficit in a contest where they led by as many as 16 points early on, but had to hold on down the stretch. Game-winning shot credited to Andrew Johns with just over 7 seconds remaining from 16 feet on the right baseline. The game winner for the Thunder, who shoots 53% in the contest. They were 6 of 13 from three-point range, 46%. Out-rebounded by Elmhurst, 32-29 in the ballgame. The Thunder with 4 double-digit scores. Andrew Johns with 18, counting that game-winning shot. 14 for John DeMoss, 10 each for Jeremy Flederer and Tim McCrary in the contest. For the Blue Jays, Zach Boyd, 18 points, strong showing for him. James Robertson, 17, including 5 three-pointers, so 15 of his 17 points coming from three-point range. The one area where Mark Scheer and really Mike Schauer as well, Wheaton's head coach, will probably be looking at in the mirror in this contest, the free throw shooting. Wheaton was only 4 of 9 from the free throw line, 44%. Elmhurst was just 11 of 19. They missed an opportunity on 2 free throws to tie or take the lead. They hit only 1 of 2 in the closing moments of the game to lead by 1, and thus the Johns jumper gives Wheaton the lead rather than tying the score. 11 of 19, 58% from the free throw line for a team that coming into the contest was shooting 68% as a squad from the free throw line. So the Blue Jays fall today. 8 points for Deontay Foster off the bench in a solid showing. 6 from Eric Dornfeld. 5 for Mike McCurdy. 4 for Steve Crane. 3 each from Joe Acosta, Aaron Schroeder, and Eric Ellingson. Elmhurst shoots 45% in the contest, 24-53. They were 8 of 14 from three-point range, 57%, and turned the ball over 16 times in the contest, which led to 19 Wheaton points. Points in the paint, 32-22, slated to the Thunder, who were victorious. We had 5 ties and 6 lead changes in the ball game tonight as Wheaton posts the 1-point win, 68-67. That will wrap up our coverage here on Blue Jay TV as the Thunder are victorious. They're 12-5 and 3-3 in the CCIW. While Elmhurst will certainly be disappointed about the loss, they have nothing to hang their heads about in terms of the effort here because falling behind 16 points early in the ball game, very nearly could have been blown out in this contest. Didn't give up, worked their way back into the game, had a tremendous run in the first half, led at the break, and had an opportunity to win it in the closing seconds, but fall by 1 point, 68-67. They are now 7-10 and 2-4 in the CCIW. Elmhurst hits the road next week. They will be on the road Wednesday at North Central, a contest that we will have audio for but no video. We'll be back with video on Saturday as Augustana, the unbeaten Augustana College Vikings and leaders of the CCIW, comes calling here at R.A. Faginal Hall. It's a doubleheader with the women at 5 and the men at 7:30. So that's it for today. The Elmhurst women, a 74-60 win over Wheaton to upset the Thunder and put themselves into a tie for 4th place in the CCIW. And the Blue Jay men inches away, perhaps, from reaching 500 in the CCIW as they fall 68-67. For our entire crew here on Blue Jay TV, my name is Tim Calderwood. Thank you so much for watching today. Enjoy the Bears game tomorrow. Go Bears, and have yourselves a great remainder of the Saturday.